guess it feels like Friday to me, but it's Thursday, so I've been at it pretty hard. If you've been watching and going into the room, you're seeing all the different ideas that I've been posting for everybody. I want to start off with Aussie because I did put on shorts up here at this 65.20, and I still have shorts from back here. Still have a position. My belief is that Aussie is going to put in a third drive to the bottom, which means that we're going to take out 64.40 is my ideal scenario, and that we'll get something like this. Let me just put it here, a three drive. Also, I'm buying the dollar right here too because we're going to be good or bad from here. Very critical levels in both the euro and the dollar. Anyway, it's going to be down here. So let me just squish it. Okay, so that's going to come in a little under 64. So that's the target for that. Also, last week I shorted yen, US dollar yen against this line right up here, which I had for weeks. Turned out it worked. It peaked above it a little bit, but worked. Um, that was at 260. We're at 118. I didn't ride the whole move, but I'm looking at this and I don't think I want to be short right now. Looks like it could be a little bit of a flag formation developing here, similar to what we have in Dixie, and that's why I bought Dixie. You have a little bit of this is ABC, and when you look at this, we're testing this major trend line from back here, right? So dollar's good or bad from here. An analogous area would be euro right around this 16 and a half level. Looks like it's trying to reverse. I'd like to see it close back under 1650. All right, so the gold silver ratio, and last time I left you was Tuesday. Remember, we had that sell signal at 53.20, and on Tuesday it did work like a charm. It overshot that number by 20 cents, but this was a big trade. So we already talked about that. There have been a couple other opportunities from 53. There was this one, you know, good for 60 cents. And here you have last night. The important thing is, and I tried it again. The important thing is that although gold has made successive highs after successive highs, which is also diverging on the 1 hour, silver has failed to make a new high, not once, not twice, but three times. So the gold silver ratio, which I said I believe bottomed last week, I still believe it. If we could just get going up here, get back over 81, 85's decent conservative target. So that's, I'm still going to be persistent, one of the P's, because one day, even though these trades work for like day trades for, this one was pretty big. It was almost, it's a low, almost $3. Okay. So this was really the big one, but when it finally goes, it'll be bigger than this. So I'm still probing it. I have shorts off. Already took partials of 20 cents. Even probed the gold and had $10 made. Now my BE stop has been taken out, so I'm just going to stay with the silver here. Um, When's the last time you saw silver down 20 cents and gold up $38? So I think that's a sign we got some weak economic numbers. And now let's go to talk a little bit about risk. So yesterday in the S&Ps, look, if anyone had told me, if you know anyone who bought the low Friday, knowing this was a bottom, I'd like to meet them. I want to give them all of my money if they can see technically or what kind of information they had to buy the market. So if you were in the room, you know I took a short here. It's my first short of the week was in S&Ps. This week was yesterday at 19. I had a little bit of a drawdown, 14 handles, and then I took 40. But if I would have sat another half hour, you almost had 100 handles on a day trade. So the character of the market after this big break has changed. Look at the size of these candles. I still think that we're topping up here, and there's some things that really didn't perform as well as it could have. First of all, you take a look at Nvidia. You know, it hasn't recovered, right? Uber really hasn't recovered. Palantir hasn't recovered much. Here's Amazon. Little bounces in MAGA. So, instead of looking at them individually, let's see. I'm not sure that MAGA can make a new high. Here's the combination of them. They could, but, it's still not really making new highs. Um, the SOX the semis are higher again today, so I'm a little underwater on my uh, triple X calls on the semiconductors. Let me look at them for a second here. And the banks are still acting like maybe there is a problem. Okay, there's the semis. They sure look like they could make a new high. The banks, they don't look great. Not a big recovery. And something that's bigger than tariffs that you need to keep an eye on is junk bonds, because before the trigger from Trump, President Trump, on Friday last week, we had credit spreads widening, and that's because of a couple of surprise bankruptcies. So you want to keep your eyes on HYG. It's an important instrument to be paying attention to. Here it is. So, this is really the problem. And we've had a recovery in junk, but it looks like it, could be peaking out here. That's with even yields under pressure. So if we start falling again, there'll be more credit fears. And I think it's going to be a problem for the market. So treasuries are holding up better. Actually, they rallied when HYG. It's almost this almost looks exactly like the S&P. So here's a proxy for you to watch and, keep an eye on what they're doing if you're an S&P trader. We may as well also touch upon Bitcoin because since the recovery, it hasn't really done anything to, it's no trip to Hollywood. So let's look at Bitcoin here. So, we had the big flush. We rallied to 116, but look at this level here at 110. Okay, 110 and 116. We start taking out 110. It's going to take us back to 104. I don't think this is the bottom. And if this isn't the bottom in Bitcoin, I still think there's more of a correction coming in risk. And with that, I'll say have a great day trading. Um, Keep an eye on the room. You have to go to the room. Let me just show you what happens there. Okay, look at all this great stuff. There was the interview with Alexander. It was a very good interview. You may want to check that out. But look at Mike's working hard, putting up all this content. Okay, see, so here's some of the silver trades, keeping people in touch with what we're doing. This is free, and you need to come in here and check out um, some of my ideas that I'm posting here. Okay. And, between broadcasts, you may miss things because, I mean, it's 10 minutes of me giving you a rundown, but Mike is updating all of this. Okay. People are thinking that maybe Euro's bottom. So come on in and, bring your questions. Sign up. It's free. No one's going to solicit you for anything. We're not selling a newsletter. We are sponsored by TradeView, and you're trading anyway. If you're interested in setting up an account with TradeView, there's no pressure. Something you could do on your own. But most of all, pay attention. One day, silver will be more than a good day trade. And you know what? What's wrong with having good day trades? So there are multiple opportunities at that 53.20 level, anywhere from last Tuesday's $2.50 decline from that price. So you can't make money on a $2.50 decline. In silver, you need to walk away. And we'll see one of these days you're going to get a reversal day where it actually closes lower. Okay, where it starts off higher, closes lower. We haven't had that big reversal candle. That didn't happen Tuesday. But all I hear about on the media right now is silver and gold on CNN, on everything. This is a very crowded market with almost arrogance about the squeeze in London on the LMBA. There's no silver around. I don't believe it. Why don't you call a dealer right now and see if you could buy any silver? Maybe they're saying, they moved all that silver from London to the US, but there still is silver around, okay? We haven't we haven't run out of silver in, 8 months. Okay. So that's a wrap for me, everybody. Have a good day trading. See just how we wrap it up here. Okay, so now silver's trying it. We'll see. Now, if silver does make a new high here, which it looks like it's going to try to, just like with gold, it's not going to confirm on the 4 hour. Okay, so I might have to try it again up there. Here's the 4 hour. So we're not that far from making a new high. Let's see if we could do it or not. And that's a wrap for me, everyone. Good hunting. I'll give you a wrap up on the whole week tomorrow. So see you in the room.